Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Lee, you're watching Dark Roots Creations, and this is going to be a hustle weekend. So first off, happy Valentine's Day. It is Friday, February 14th, and I decided that this weekend is going to be a hustle weekend for me. If you've never watched any of my hustle weekends before, that basically means that I come up with a reading goal for the weekend and I try my hardest to hit that goal. So for this weekend, I'm planning on reading Debbie Macomber's Midnight Sons series. There's 6 books, 1 novella, and I'm gonna try my best to get them done. This series is about the O'Halloran brothers who own a bush plane service in Hard Luck, Alaska, which is about 50 miles from the Arctic Circle. If I didn't already say, the bush plane service is called Midnight Sons, and the goal is to try to get more women to come to the town, find themselves some wives, and whatever Alaska adventures come along the way. These books are from the 80s, so this will also count toward Storm and Sarah's retro romance readathon, so that'd be nice to get 6.5 books done. Actually, it's 6 books. I believe the novella was later on, so maybe 2010. Anyway, so yep, I'm gonna see what I can get done. It is currently 5 to 8 a.m. I'm sitting at work right now, so I'm about to go in. And what else do I have going on this weekend that's gonna stop me from getting to this? I have a dentist appointment after work, and I have like a hangout with some friends online tomorrow, and I think that might be it. Well, we'll see. Some of these Debbie Macomber books are a little bit shorter. I do have them all on Audible, so I will be definitely bumping up the speed to see if I can get them done. Anyway, come along, see how I do, and yeah, welcome to the vlog. Okay, quick catch up. I was trying to mess with the lighting in here, but with my glasses on, trying to do anyway, it doesn't matter, whatever. You're not here about lighting. It is 8:48 and I have finished the first book in Midnight Sons, which is Brides for Brothers. It was good. So brief, I've already talked about it, and I'm sorry, I think before I said these books were in the 80s, they're actually in the 90s, but that still counts for retro romance. Like I said, it takes place in Hard Luck, Alaska, and the guys decide as they're losing, so the Midnight Sons is the plane company, they're constantly losing people because the guys are lonely, there's nobody up here, they find a better opportunity, and then they go. With that, the guys decide that, hey, we should give some incentives to have women come move here and provide companionship, but they also decide that they don't want to marry them because they don't want to be tied down or anything like that. So one of the brothers goes down to Seattle, puts an ad in the paper saying, you know, for a librarian, a secretary, all these like positions, and they have some cabins and some acreage that they're willing to give as part of the compensation for the women to come here. And in this one, the girl Abby, she has 2 children, divorced. She has a job as a librarian, but they are downsizing, so she's losing her job. She sees this ad in the paper, and it says it comes with a free housing and 20 acres of land. Her kids are all excited. She goes to interview for it, and the brother that was doing the interviewing, he's just there for the hot girls. So he just kind of like, yeah, we'll get back to you, because she wasn't hot in his eyes because she wasn't a blonde. She kind of like was about to get passed over, whatever. The other brother say, no, hire her. We need the librarian. Hires her. She gets out there. They were annoyed right away, the people, because she has 2 kids, and it's like, we're here for like, you know, companionship, not for somebody who already has kids. So anyway, they kind of figure she's not gonna like this because the cabin is like super bare bones, And it was only just like a little lodging cabin. It's like a room. It wasn't set up for like somebody and their kids. One of the other brothers is away, so she gets to stay there with the kids in her house, in that house, and the story goes on from there. Of course, this is a romance, so she's gonna hook up with one of the brothers. Uh, in the story about other women coming along, there was another woman that came along, but she left pretty much immediately. It wasn't going to be for her. So that was it for that one. The next one is The Marriage Risk, which I'm going to try to jump on. I think I'm listening at 1.75, which is a good speed for me. I was at 2 and then I dropped it down. And I think there's 2 hours and 48 minutes. It's like 9 o'clock. I might get to it all tonight. Probably not, though. Yeah, that's it. Did go to the dentist. Do have to get new retainers made, of course. There's $750 that I didn't want to spend. But compensation is they were giving out roses. They were not just a little rose for Valentine's Day. I accidentally broke it on the way home, so I just put it in this little vase. I talked to my sister earlier, and we're supposed to go out for some lunch tomorrow. We haven't seen each other in a while. Just life got busy, so probably meet up with her. And then, like I said, I have my online hangout. So between those two things, hopefully I can still... I'm hoping by tomorrow I will have finished this second story and then the next 2 stories in, like, so book 2, 3, and 4, I'm hoping to have finished by tomorrow. So we'll see. I will catch you up. I will keep you updated. I will bring you guys along. Okay, I am tired. It is 1:33 in the morning. I just finished the second book, The Marriage Risk by Debbie Macomber. This was a good one. So in this one, we're still in Alaska. There was this lodge that this woman had because of an old relationship. The woman had it, and the brothers, the old Halloran brothers, were not a fan of this woman, but they wanted to see if they could buy the lodge from... Sorry, I have a hair that's on me. There we go. They wanted to see if they could buy the lodge so they could start putting some of these other women into the lodge. Instead of dealing with the woman, Catherine, they decided to see if they could talk to the granddaughter, who they heard was a bit more reasonable. So her name was Lanny. So she comes to Alaska, or to, what is it? Hardlock. I think she lives in Anchorage. So she comes here to try to negotiate some deal for the lodge. Meanwhile, one of the brothers, Charles, sees her come in and thinks she's somebody that one of the brothers hired for help, so kind of puts her to work. She just goes along with it. Anyway, they start to get into it, and she's afraid to tell him what's going on because there's some bad blood between, like, the families. So, story goes from there. We have a bit of a continuation with the first couple. Now we've got the second couple. And yeah, it was pretty good. I will say that a lot of these relationships, or the 2 so far, but a lot of these relationships are very insta-love. So you're just kind of like accepting that part of it. So that's it. It is very late. I'm going to sleep. And, but this got me ahead of where I wanted to be. So if I do book 3 and 4 tomorrow and 5, 6 in the novella on Sunday, I should be good. And I'm kind of nervous if I'm going to be able to hit that. Anyway, I feel like I'm about to start stuttering and slurring over my words, so I'm going to go to sleep, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. So it is currently almost 4 o'clock. Snowing outside, not too bad yet. It is supposed to turn over to rain, so... went out with my sister to go eat, got caught in some snow, finally went somewhere to eat, and the service was so slow. Took us about 2 hours, so just got home, and I'm in the middle of book 3. So just working on that now. I'm going to sit down, do some digital coloring, listen to my book, and watch some snow. Okay, it is 6:42. I finished book number 3, Daddy's Little Helper, a little while ago. The snow has finally stopped outside, waiting for the rain to come, which is supposed to be like on and off all night. Anyway, now that you have the weather update, finished this book. This was about Mitch, who's like the law and order, I guess, in the town of Hard Luck, and Bethany, who is the new teacher that has come to teach at the school. Now, for Bethany, she wasn't actually part of that newspaper ad of trying to get women here. The previous teacher left, so she already had plans to come here. She was just waiting for the new school year, so she was going to come here anyway. But still, it's a new woman in the town, so people are excited for that. And her love interest for this one is Mitch. Mitch he's a widower. He has a daughter, Chrissy. Chrissy's now best friends with the daughter from the first book, and she very much loves Bethany, her teacher. She wants everything to do with her, and of course she wants her and her dad to hook up. Bethany also has a side story of why she actually chose to take the job in the school here in Hard Luck, so I like that was also another interest too. Of course, we're still hearing about the previous couples, just other people in the town, but I like that this kind of had like 2 stories going on in it for Bethany. So I am pretty much just gonna probably take a small break and then just go right into the next one, which is Because of the Baby. And yeah, we'll get into that one later. Hopefully I will have like I said, 6:45. We should have this one finished tonight, leaving me 2 and the novella for tomorrow. If I can push through on this one, I will start book 5 as well. I will definitely say this weekend is definitely a hustle because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So keep you updated and let you know what goes on. Okay, I'm in the kitchen waiting for my tea water to boil. So I figured I would do my update now. It is Sunday around little afternoon. It's a rainy, gloomy day out, so hanging out in the house today. Anyway, I was just thinking in my head. Anyway, I finished book 4, which is Because of the Baby. In this one, this is the couple in this one. It's a little different but same. Matt is a guy whose family he bought the lodge from the family that owned it originally. So he's been fixing it up. Meanwhile, his sister got married to one of the guys that are to Charles O'Hallahan. So his ex-wife Karen, Matt's ex-wife Karen, comes here because she was always good friends with her sister-in-law, so she's going to be the maid of honor. While they're here, Matt and Karen sleep together. She gets pregnant, and here we go from there. So they are divorced. She has a job in, I want to say Seattle, maybe, but he convinces her to come stay here while she's pregnant, and then after that she could figure out what she wants to do. The reason they got divorced is because he was always like flaky with the jobs. He didn't like something, he'd want to leave. But now he's been working on the lodge and it's becoming successful and he really likes it. So there's a little battle there with her feeling like, oh, maybe this is the right thing, but I don't want to deal with that. But we are having a baby now, etc. So it goes on from there. There's also in the background of this story, there was a woman reporter who was kind of doing a piece on all the women when they started to move here, and a pilot and her that were always clashing heads. So you could kind of tell in the background that that's going to be one of the next, I'm assuming that's going to be book 5 or 6, and I'm assuming the other one will be the romance between one of the other O'Hallahan brothers and the he originally wanted this girl, Allie, to be his secretary for Midnight Sons, and she left after the first day. So he claims he just picked up the next application and hired the next girl. She's actually been there. She stayed for the year because she wanted to make sure she got her land. And now the year's up. But she never does anything right for this one brother who's Christian, I think his name is. She can never do anything right for him. The other brothers think she's totally fine. But now the year's up and he's like, he wants her to like move on and he can get somebody else to do the job. So that's pretty much it. I'm assuming those two romances are going to be one of the other two. And then the novella, I think that's going to be like one of these set of people's kids in the future. So anyway, that's it. I've got 5, 6 in the novella to go today. Like I said, it's a rainy, crappy day. So let's see how it goes. Hopefully I can get those done. And I feel like this was a big hustle. So anyway, I will catch you guys up later. Good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning, but I wanted to come back to do a quick wrap up about how well I did, because I actually did finish. I actually finished book 5, 6, and the novella. I finished the novella at 11:42 last night. I was already in bed in my pajamas, so I wasn't going to do a clip then, but I figured I'd come on in the morning and just wrap it up. So book 5 was Falling for Him, and that was about Christian, the one brother, and the secretary for Midnight Sons, Mariah, and their relationship and how things went with them. And then 6 is Ending in Marriage, and that was about the pilot Duke and the lawyer Tracy. So these were the last 2 books that I was hoping that they would be the people in. In both of them, both of the girls wind up going back to like Anchorage and Seattle well, Tracy is from Seattle. She's a lawyer in Seattle. So it kind of takes a little bit place off that. But when you're back, you hear a lot about what's going on with them. And then what was the novella was Sons and Daughters. And it was about a son and a daughter from 2 of the families in the book getting together. And I don't want to say who they are, because if you do read this, I don't want to spoil anything. But I really enjoyed these, and these reminded me a lot of the Cedar Cove series. And in the beginning of Debbie Macomber books, she usually says like a little blurb about stuff. She did say this was her and her husband had taken a trip to Alaska. That's where she did the research for this. This was what got her started in that Cedar Cove, Heart of Texas type of series, where you meet a couple, you meet the town, and then we meet somebody else. Like there's a bunch of couples within the town, and still throughout the whole series, we still hear about all the people in the stories. So she said this was her first ones. I believe these were published from all right, so the last one was published in 96. I want to say the first ones were 95. Oh wow, she did a lot during that time. Yep, 95, 95, 95, 96, 96, 96, and 2010 was Sons and Daughters. So yeah, so again, throughout the whole series, you are hearing about the previous couples we've heard about, just other people that live in the town. There's also, and they didn't give a specific book, but I want to say through 5 and 6, you did hear about the guy who owns the diner and his story with them. He's older, he has some health issues, and then they bring in like a woman from an out of town woman to come in and work there. And so, they kind of have a little bit of romance themselves, because she was a widow and he had never been married. So that was another cute little couple story in there. They didn't have their own book though, but anyway, I really enjoyed this series overall. Again, yes, it does have those like Heart of Texas, Cedar Cove series where you're meeting each couple, you're focusing on them, but you're still learning about the people in the town, still hearing about them. I enjoy that. These are usually sweet romance. I don't want to say they're Christian based, but they definitely have a slight Christian base to them, in the way of just like, just because Debbie Macomber does. So that's it. Anyway, I really enjoyed this. I am tired though. I think my next book, well, I have to get back to reading The Crash by Frida McFadden, so I'm going to be going in a totally different direction now. But I'm feeling just slightly burned out of reading because this was a hustle, and I'm also going on a reading retreat this weekend, so maybe I just have to give myself a little bit of a break before I get back into something. But absolutely recommend this series. Loved it. If you ever thought about reading it, if you've enjoyed those other series by Debbie Macomber, maybe you want to jump into this one. And the Alaska setting was beautiful, of course. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Your support means a lot to me, and I love connecting with our amazing community. If you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe to stay updated with my latest videos. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.